I mean, I gotta save. I'm not ending, though. I'm not ending. I don't know how... This conversation could potentially be long. This video might be crazy long, but I'm in right now. Is there anything to say to you two about this? That was a bit close. Lets out a big sigh. Relief kind. You okay, cleric? I will be. Yeah, once we get out of here. I go talk with Grandpa. Looks like he's got something to say. Good idea. Just need a breather. Take a deep breath. See what the old man wants. That human. Her voice sounds shaky. Let us speak with him. You okay? Yes, cleric. I hope you are okay as well. I am. Thanks for asking. Of course. I'm happy to support your cause. And also to support me, right? That is part of the cause, yes. Gotta ask, what happened to you out there? Aberrations, cleric. They were drawn to my aura, despite my attempt to hide. A scuffle was engaged. I was unable to leave before I had to deal with the worst of it. Then I followed the sound of battle. You should complain. She will like that. Actually, yes. For all this, you feel like its tears simply wants to break down a barrier. One way to do that is banter. Then I followed the sound of battle? And then there was an option for thanks for saving my ass? I think some of this dialogue is assuming that I did have a fight with Gorm, but I did not, actually. But I think some of the dialogue is potentially thinking that. Like, we were shouting at each other, so I guess you could say maybe that was the sound of battle you heard if we want to headcanon it a little bit, but it seems like the dialogue's made to fit multiple different outcomes and not particularly unique to them. Sorry for losing track of you. After all this, you feel like simply wants to break down a barrier. I wanted to do that as banter. It's fine. I handled myself just fine before you got here. Do not get snippy with me, unless you want to comment on your fighting abilities. Oh, maybe that was a bad idea. Stand up to her. She respects it. Maybe I do. You are... She stopped sending telepathic messages to you for a few seconds. Well, are you attempting to aggravate me? Or is this some human attempt at courtship? I mean, angering a, you know, like poking the bear at a very hot, powerful woman and getting her to look disapprovingly at you is, yeah, that's top tier. Stare at her. Well, damn, turning that around on you. She knows your weakness. Earth bless this woman! Sorry to say, you're screwed. I'm just being annoying. Ignore me. I'm gonna push it. Yes? Now is your chance. Push it! It's, yeah. You can do that, right? Oh, it's challenging. Push it! Hey! It's called flirting, it's here. Apparently I only flirt with powerful women. Beautiful, love it. I flirted with the like millennia old sphinx, an orc that could probably snap me in half, and now you. Or not an orc, because I didn't, well, I tried to flirt with her, but I was thinking of Moongore, the owlbear. It's called flirting, it's here. I see. Her many eyes freeze. She's so easy to read, once you get past the alien behavior. Now hit her with the charm, don't be awkward. I want to learn more about you. You're fascinating. She stares at you blankly as per usual. Then her eyes begin to spin. In your mind her voice reappears again, fainter now. It will be time after the election. If it can, fit our schedules. She's unsure how to navigate this kind of interaction. Wow. You broke her. Yeah! Yeah! I love that for you, Queen. You have somebody after you, you know? You like, maybe you were too imposing for people to try before, you know? Like, there's definitely people that are just naturally feel difficult to approach, so, you know? I mean, I've been told that's me before by, like, one person. They're like, I didn't know how to talk to you. Yeah, we'll find time. And let us focus on him. Thanks for saving my ass. Your ass is not what I attempted to save. No, not my literal. I meant it's the... She taps the top of your helm. You are welcome. Oh, I love her. I love her. Yeah, give me my polycule with my strong women. You know? Well, the Sphinx doesn't want to be with us, but Moongore and you, we could all have 3-person sparring matches. Nod. Alright, I'm pretty sure my time is done with Vera, but I kinda didn't want anybody that worked for the hyper-capitalists anyway, if I'm going to be honest. Questing tree? Still wondering what this final quest was. Also, there's a little person over here? Who's that? And you. Alright, Earth. I can't behold you again.
Oh.
Timid man greets you with a lowered head. Hello. Look around. Tears in many eyes appear to be spinning quite fast. Snell shrugs in your direction. Is safe now? No, not safe. Still in void. Meek turns back into a scarf. I love Meek. Hey. He meets your gaze. This road has been terrible. All due to my negligence. Eyes filled with regret and confidence both. It is not his fault. He did his best. What's this little guy talking about? Who are you really, Newt? You know this guy? Wipes some dust off his apron. I mean, I feel like it's incredibly obvious who it is to everybody but the characters. Ran into him before, he's a cobbler. Right, cobbler. Sure, there are lots of shoe emergencies out here. Shakes his head. I'm also realizing that that line from Strength that said he's here, I immediately pegged that as like, oh, Earth is here, and that's Earth? I think the game intentionally made it vague by saying he's here because you could interpret it as it's the person you're looking for, the smoking man, or it's Earth, which is fun. I'm afraid there's no good way to put this, but I shall make it clear for you. I swear on it. Well, you better explain it quickly. Not sure any of us should stay in this spooky hellscape any longer than we have to. You are very correct, Snell, he says with a smile. This place is bad for a man. Brings him to face both his heart and even fouler things. He looks over to a tear. You seem to handle it just as well as expected. She looks at him in silence. Goblin looks back and forth between them both. Okay, I'm getting freaked out now. Is this... It can't be. By the gods and all that is holy. Let him speak. I am Nut, son of Tok. That is all I am here now. I was born in Devjvik, amidst the early days of the First Coast War. Its chaos brought death upon my kinsmen. Due to fate or some other cause, I was granted audience with a higher power. An audience which left me with a channel of strings. All I knew at the time was the inescapable risk of staying in those lands. Pushed to action by my brother Toll, together we rallied as many longships as we could. Our savior. We saved 50,404 people, approximately a quarter of the villages. As we left in search of a new land, those people began to look to me and my newfound divine strength for more than guidance. They gave me a name from the old world sagas, one steeped in bygone mythology. You're... my lord. So we left in search of a new land, those people began to look to me, they gave me a name from the old world sagas, one steeped in bygone mythology, so you were reusing the name of a, yep. Look upon your god. They called me... Earth. Hammer of Fate. Kneel. That can't, the goblin mutters. How? I would like to ask, why are you here? This must be really weird for Snell. He lowers his head once more. My existence is fleeting, stuck between material and beyond. The old man's weary expression tells you, rise. I am not one to bow for. Are you truly him? Get up. Yes. You see, I died like any old man should, just a few decades later than usual. But here I linger on, guarding this gate. For whom? For what purpose? Who knows? The old man laughs. It's a bit silly, really. Toll would have loved to see it. It is interesting. I feel like it's a common trope. I'm not sure where it would have started, but I feel like I've seen the idea of, like, you meet a god, in media, and they're always something mundane, like a cobbler or something like that. Like, I in fact think I have seen, I can't say where it was from, but I swear I have seen a god or deity portrayed as just being like a cobbler at some point in some other media. Maybe that's to talk about the fact that, yeah, if you achieve divinity, you start to appreciate the more mundane things in life, so even gods would want to pursue something as mundane as being a cobbler just to kind of give themselves something to do and occupy their time. Or if it's shown as a way to, you know, humanize them a bit more past being a deity. You know? Because it's like, it kind of makes sense too if you're a god and are truly like omniscient and have all these people worshiping you. When you're effectively in retirement, which is basically what you are right now, you're just dead, you would want to do something mundane, I feel. Something simple that you can just kind of enjoy by yourself. It's a bit silly, really. I would have loved to see it. This is insane. I don't disagree. That was my initial reaction to the first few years in this place. I assure you, I do have many questions. Goblin companion clearly wants to ask something as well. He's waiting his turn. Ask what you wish. I know you have questions. Say what you wish. This is your one chance, one opportunity to ask this legendary figure anything you want. Don't miss your chance to blow Mom's spaghetti. Make use of it. You have everything to ask and nothing. Nothing at all. Earth wants to talk. Talk out of shame. And blood, heart and mind. No, Snell first. Snell absolutely should have the opportunity to ask first. Snell has been deeply wronged by Earthfolk and nationalists and basically everything you were founded on, and you as well, it sounds like. If the history is true, which I'm willing to believe it is, because I'm going to side with the victims in this matter more so than the people that did it, but let me know your side of the story and possibly explain what happened, please. You have something to ask? Of course. It's a god. But there's no rush. You should ask about Gorm first, and I'm thinking of how to formulate this question I've got. Take your time. Goblin genocide. It is on his mind, as it should fucking be. Toll? Your brother? Yes, the old fool. Earth speaks with a sad smile. I haven't seen him pass through here. He must have died years ago, missed his epic final adventure. But who knows? Time moves differently inland. Maybe he still walks the endless waste as we speak, looking for Jor's key. This is not a term you're familiar with. Make him elaborate. Jor's what? Toll. Right, like Tolstad. Toll Square. Heard he was a real adventurer. He was, Snell. He was. God looks out into the void. Toll always wanted to travel, to understand Jor, to sail and wander. He received his circumnavigation blessing not long after we founded Norvik. Yet he could never reach Jor's point. After a lifetime of adventure, he still wanted to know. And that's why he set off. Toll's leaving. The national holiday. My brother figured the secret to Jor would be unlocked in the wastes. Once he crossed a really cold valley, which I later renamed Toll's Pass, my sending stopped reaching him. Last thing he told me in that final message was, "Fear not, brother. I always find my way home." Thus I hold out hope. Can you see Norvik from here? Somewhat, yes. I have the ability to cast minor magic here, including a soft scrying. Soft scrying. He speaks like an arcanist. That essentially means he can peek on people in locations, but not for long, nor far from Norvik, presumably. Okay, so you're like kind of omniscient, which is like an oxymoron. You can't be kinda omniscient, I guess. Feels a bit tragic, of course, to be unable to interfere, yet able to watch. Yeah, that sounds horrible. As you can imagine. Lean over Snell and whisper, he's been watching us. Leans back, I'm sure you're the main spectacle. Your god squats down, placing his palm towards the tower of light before him. The closer to the pillar, the more I can see. Like your adventure into the city below, or your encounter with Gorgalash. You knew that troll? I did. I fought him, you know, all those years ago. Every time he would flee, regroup, and try something new. A smart one, that Gorgalash, a tough leader. He seemed to really hate you. I don't blame him. Your god looks away for a few seconds as if using the void to take in your words. I destroyed his tribe, Ragan. His kingdom, his people, took it from him, without any kind of a fair fight. I struck from my own need, and I was well rewarded. Perhaps it is a pity I did not follow through, instead leaving him to the life of an undercoast vagabond. Part of me feels I knew him well. We dueled many times. Another part of me wonders if I should have taken the risk of diplomacy. At a certain point, it wasn't that far off from a 50-50. 50-50. Would you have taken that? Attempted peace with trolls? Would you have followed through, pity be damned? Never. Trolls are foul, unstable creatures. The answer is no. Every creature has the capacity for good. This is what I like to think. This is what I like to believe. And even if not, like, just completely genociding them is... That's not the option either way. Like, that's not the option either way at all. I like to try and find the capacity for good in people. Any kind of person or creature. Even a troll. I would take that risk. Anything to avoid unnecessary death. I would just be very, very careful about it. Like, I would still be cautious, but... Even if the risk was the lives of your people? I mean, that is a difficult question. I would try. I feel like I would try. Why are the lives of my people worth more than the lives of other people? Like, yes, I have more of an attachment to my people, but who am I to just declare that just because, you know, most, or at least people think most trolls are bad, that I can just completely decide their fate? Like, I wouldn't ever want to be in the position where I have to risk the lives of my people. Quite frankly, more than anything, I have a weak hold on life. I would throw myself into the danger, personally. If I could go and have peace talks with the trolls, and if they kill me, so be it. But I can at least say that I tried, but I don't like the idea of just assuming any particular type of people or anything is inherently evil. I think that's fucked. And that's one of the things I talked about earlier in this game, where they said, like, demons and devils are, like, always just inherently bad based off of the things going on. I still like to believe, even in a world like this with strict rules based around that, maybe that's just a societal thing, like, sort of terminology. Like, are people told that so much that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy? They're told, like, oh, if you're a devil, you have to be evil, so they do it because of that? Like, what if there is another way forward? You know? Always. Your heart is in the right place, then. A deep sigh leaves him. I do not believe in a clear answer. Not anymore. I mean, I don't feel any answer is always 100% clear, but at some point you have to make them. It is all just odds, isn't it? Like, I wouldn't want to go down personally as the person that genocided not one, but two peoples to help secure safety for my people. No, absolutely fucking not. Genocide is horrible, fucking awful. It's weird that I even need to say that. That should just be a given, especially across history. But no one that ever does that is in the right, and never, ever has been. So. But I chose my path. Glances at Snell, who still looks stunned at watching you interact with your actual god. I also like the idea, like, I've talked about this in media and stuff before, but too often gods and a bunch of higher beings and stuff like this, they're not shown as perfect per se. Like, obviously gods are usually shown as pretty flawed. I mean, you can look at, like, Greek mythos and stuff, you know, for a good indication of that. But the fact that Earth is sitting here completely admitting and taking responsibility for these things is refreshing. Are you redeemed? Has it completely rid you of all the horrible things you've done? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But it is nice to at least see you coming to conclusions about how maybe you made the wrong decisions, but you made a split-second decision at a different point in your life. And that was the wrong decision, I believe, but, you know, sometimes people can't be redeemed. I'm definitely always of the opinion that, like, someone like this, if they felt like they did something wrong and they're like, I'm sorry, no one owes you redemption for that. No one owes you an apology. You did something horrible that wronged them. They can decide if they want to give that to you or not. You are not owed forgiveness because you apologize or you say I messed up or I did something wrong. That is complete and utterly ludicrous. If you've done something that awful and you truly feel bad about it, you should show it with your actions and expect nothing in return. Absolutely not. The thing that you get in return should be some possible weight off your conscience for the horrible, horrible things that you did. Not expecting to get a pat on the back and say, oh, glad you came around. You still enabled this stuff. You still allowed it to happen. So, I mean, in a lot of ways you started it, and you're never going to escape from that. So, I'm sure that's something that's knocking around in Earth's head, and I'm sure that's a lot of the reason that you're chilling here becoming a cobbler, because you're trying to come to terms with a lot of these things. I actually have so many questions. See Snell shift his shirt around. I have a few questions of my own. You go first. We have time. God aims a pair of finger guns at you. Shoot. Ask him. Ask him about every possible conflicted force in the known universe. About nationalism and fascism. Is nationalism fascism? No. I do not believe it is. A clear answer. Why? Fascism and nationalism are overlapping ideologies. One is the fairly new idea of a united nation state, whether by culture or folk type or anything else. The other is... he squints. Fascism is really bad? That seems a bit moralistic. I was often called a fascist. As are you. At times, for good reason, yeah? But when I read those books from Reeds, I never particularly identified with it. They seemed to hate liberal ideas, while I was always quite fond of egalitarian pursuits. I mean, you say fascism and nationalism are overlapping technologies. One is the fairly new idea, whether or anything else. The other is, he squints. Fascism is, you know... Is nationalism fascism? I think this is a situation where one can directly lead to the other. Is fascism nationalism? Not technically 100% of the time always, but does nationalism often lead to fascism? Yes, and for the reasons of what nationalism places at, you know, the heart of it. Like, being nationalistic can often lead to fascism because it's based around a lot of elevating yourself above others and things. And also, you genocided an entire fucking race, like... two, nearly. You basically completely killed the trolls. I mean, I guess I potentially killed the final one. But... yeah. And I realize it is rich from me talking about this, like, oh, I straight up killed the last troll. But the question is, like, once again, how much was Gorgalash even enjoying himself? What... you know, he did attack me. I had to defend myself. You know, there's a lot of nuances there. And I don't know everything that Earth went through, but... yeah, I mean, I agree more with Wisdom here. In my dictatorship, I took many cues from Asgol himself. Hell, Garz Rubrin was my brother. He taught me wisdoms beyond my years. Garz Rubrin, the first Bon Imvers to settle in Norvik, head of the Great Norvikian Construction Project. Then there's the fetishization of violence. This is a man who justified multiple genocides by saying they were for the greater good. That isn't fetishizing violence. He acts as though by wringing your hands enough, they will no longer be covered in blood. Yup! Makes me think of an angry young man left powerless, someone neglected by his village. Obviously, it would lash out. Fascism seemed to me as nothing but a response to that powerlessness, especially one grown in the wake of the First Coast War. If anything, it taught me not to take it lightly, to make sure each new generation of men in Norvik were given exactly what they needed. Discipline, challenge, and a god who does not conflate strength with violence. Truth. That's a lot of words to say you don't want to be called a fascist. Yeah? I mean, that's usually they try to, you know, make themselves feel better about it in some ways, but... And fascist is tossed around a lot these days, sometimes unfairly in some cases. I mean... I've seen people call moderators fascists just because they, like, you know, removed a comment that you made that had a slur. So, like... It is thrown around by a lot of weirdos. But you're sitting here saying like, oh, you're saying all of these things. You're trying to reason with yourself about why you can say you're not a fascist. So Earth is actually being like a little... I don't know, like, I don't agree with you here. And I feel like you could just say, yes, I've absolutely been a fascist at some points. You can't say, well, think about all these good things I was doing and about all the people that I helped. That warranted me genociding people. No, it didn't. He looks up at you abruptly. Yes, well... His head tilts back down. Shame and regret. Yup, that's why you don't want to be called a fascist. That's why you're trying to explain to me why you're not a fascist, because you know it to be true and it makes you feel bad. Whether he had lived during your time or not, it would not have mattered. How is strength not violence? I mean, I know that, this I know. I wonder. True strength is, in my mind, your capacity for enacting violence, measured against your ability to never have to. In a sense, this applies less to violence and more to any form of complacency. Sorry, my phone just went off. Competency. A real man makes the best of himself, no matter what that looks like. He does it for himself and for the benefit of his tribe. Does that make sense? Your God just asked you a question. I mean, at the beginning, I said I chose strength so that I could punch assholes in the face, and I stand by that. Me putting so many points into strength was so that I could punch Nazis. True strength is, in my mind, your capacity for enacting violence, measured against your ability to never have to. In a sense, this applies less to violence and more to any form of competency. A real man makes the best of himself, no matter what that looks like. He does it for himself and for the benefit of his tribe. What if a man makes himself into a competent weapon? What if he performs evil as that weapon? I mean, I pretty much agree with you. Like, to me, true strength is... Yeah, you have a capacity to enact violence, but you hope that you never have to. Or you don't want to. It's not something you search out for. As soon as people start searching out for that with their strength, it becomes a problem. It should be something... I think I've seen it before in some media that's like, real strength is using it to defend others. Not using it for vengeance or for retaliation and things like that. And in my eyes, punching a Nazi in the face is just is not vengeance. It is protecting others because it's showing this stupid Nazi fuck that there's no room for you here and you're not wanted. So that is a form of protection, with a little bit of vengeance, admittedly. Because fuck you. What if a man makes himself into a competent weapon? What if he performs evil as that weapon? You asked for strength, not goodness. True strength is a tool. Real men come in all alignments. Take you, for example. You wield magic beyond compare. How long does it take the average wizard to memorize a new spell? Just copying it into a spellbook? Or I smile on his face. Hours per new spell. And you do it in seconds. That's no trick, nor is it only talent. Perhaps you have a knack for the esoteric, I won't argue against that, but I think about those sleepless nights, those years you prayed and studied and read. He smiles. This is what you are now. This is your calling. It's exactly where your people need you. And you do it in seconds, that's no trick, so you're saying like, yeah, you weren't just a prodigy, I wasn't just a chosen one that has this power, I really worked hard at it. Yeah. No, you're saying, like, my power came through hard work as well as some natural talent and things. Which I like. Because that is where true strength comes from. Why would they need you? I know it feels like you say the wrong thing every time. God does it. Earth is talking to me now. So is charisma. This is always me. I'm like, why the fuck would anybody care about me? Yeah, doesn't feel like it. Yes, it does all the time. I never feel like I say the right thing. That's why all my friends laugh, because when I type, like, messages in Discord or on DMs, I take, like, 50 minutes to write a message. I know it feels like you're slow sometimes, but... Glances over to a tear. My father, a man of many idioms, once told me, you don't have to be anything but the best of you. The rest? The village takes care of that. Nod. You must have gotten that from a book. Yeah, you did say you loved to read. What does the red eye mean? You mean the symbol we used? That was adopted from existing symbolism. Ah, yes, that makes sense. I see. It would be one to figure that out. I never meant to build a religion, you see. But when we'd conquered a city full of ruins with that red eye all over the place, I think it was Og who came up with the idea. Call it Earth's Red Eye. We're just co-opting it. Turns out that it was an albino lion warlord who held the ruins sometime before the trolls took over. A one-eyed albino. One red eye. Yeah, that's the one we met down in the ruins below? Because I had to put the red gem in the eye? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Conqueror's co-opting the stuff that they found. The tale as old as time, unfortunately. The old man points his very much on Dark Eye and laughs. Worked out fine enough. Allowed us to spend some more time on public works rather than shrines. Are you really a god? He shrugs. I had the same power as all those big shots in the Divine Era. Make a god of me or not. There's a banner I've carried for the sake of unity. If that banner ever grows useless, burn it. Let something new rise from the ashes. Humility is the sign of a real man, divinity or no. It is nice to see strength, like, stand up for the ideals of strength that I actually value. Like, humility and those things. Like, strength has obviously had some very wild and, you know, stupid things, like intelligence a lot of the time that they say, but there are times where you can see some of the good in there and some of the things that's like, yeah, no, you are the kind of, in some ways, the pure essence of strength, because you see the problematic parts. You're not just a hyperbolic, like, facsimile of strength that's supposed to be a joke. You do have some parts of you in strength that are good. Not a god, just a very powerful man, clearly. A god, a spirit, a memory. Remnant. I pray to you. Yes, you do. Not always hear it clearly, it's a lot. But I hear yours, that I promise. Your heart feels warm. How do you grant us clerics magic from here? As you've been taught, I channel the divine through strings. Subconsciously, though, or maybe more like instinct. I'm an old hand at this by now. Might be a reason why I won't be allowed to move on. That I'm still needed to keep the channeling going. Which makes me think of all the other dead gods out there still connecting those thousands upon thousands of clerics into their sources beyond. I'm sorry, honestly. No, don't be. I'm happy to fulfill my duty here. It keeps me sane. But I wonder if the Mender feels the same, or if Lady Fair holds down the fort in some other tunnel. The implications here are quite intense. Yeah. It's always interesting, because I've played a few games, like Pillars, RuneScape in some ways, have moments where, like, the gods stop being the kind of gods that are up in the clouds and spoken of in myths and stuff, and they kind of come back down and start interacting with humans and stuff again, and you can meet gods. And that's always a wild concept to me. And in a lot of those games, it's like, it's the reveal that, oh, they're not actually, like, gods. That's what you call them because they have crazy power, but really they're just people that have crazy power. And that's it. And you started calling them gods, but... So that's usually the reveal there. Sometimes you have games, though, where it's like, oh, yeah, no, just, like, God comes down and is just like, hey, mortals. And that's always wild. I can't think of many instances where I've seen it done, like, super, super well. But implications here are quite intense. I wish I knew more. Once I am forgotten, maybe I'll get to see through this gate. Go wherever souls go once they pass. These people who are resurrected do not remember anything in death. Maybe there is nothing beyond. Through the gate, it must lead to the source, to the gods truly beyond. One day you might gain that knowledge. For now, focus on the material. That will set you free. I think I need to ask something even more important. Yes, I know you do. You want to ask something, Atir? No, but I have something to say. I understand. She grips the pommel of her sword. Speak your minds firstly. I will bide my time, as I have for many years. She is angry. Need to ask about Lord Gorm. Takes a few steps forward. An imposing figure. Earth. Gorm. His eyes focus on the ground where he stood. A man of principle, of bright mind and whole heart. I loved him like a son. His face contorts into a deep frown. It broke my heart when I saw him descend in such a way. You saw his plan? Not at first. Did not take long for me to figure it out. Cannot say where his mind was, but I know his heart was placed exactly where I had taught him. Selflessly, he would give himself to any cause. Unfortunately, he proved my teachings terribly wrong. His pain. Earth did not possess the ability to interact with Gorm in any way. He did not know you were present. He did not. I could not stop this channeled magic to my clerics and my paladin, no matter what. I could not even destroy myself. For whatever reason, my soul here is muffled. I could not communicate with him or anyone else on the material plane. He's telling the truth. His truth. Why would he lie? He's got nothing to lose here, exactly. He's telling his truth. Cannot even destroy myself. For whatever reason, my soul here is muffled. I could not communicate with him. He was going to kill 27 people. Yes, he was. It's important to remember one simple fact. Nothing he did was evil. Everything he did for an ideal of good. Just like I taught him. I mean, things can still be evil even if you are doing it for a sense of good. You know, because it's like, who defines what's good? Who defines if what you're doing or not is good? So no, I don't agree with that at all. He may have thought it was good, but what he was contemplating doing was absolutely evil, in my opinion. Like, he was being kind of selfish and wanted his god back to potentially save these things and fix all of these problems. And he was willing to sacrifice people to do that. So no, I don't believe what he did was good. I think he thought it was good. But what he was doing, in my opinion, was still evil. Just sacrificing 26 people like that without even, you know, like letting them know, not letting them volunteer, not anything, doing it behind their backs, doing all of this stuff. Like that, to me, is still evil. Like, I can see why he did it, but I still think it was evil. Taking that much life, I think is just evil in general. Just kind of, especially like I said, just random people that don't even have any say over the matter. You're just choosing to snuff out their life for them. Like, no. He turns around and gestures towards the stars, so you cannot see his tears. Look how it ended. His bones hitting the pavement so furiously. Tears of regret. I thought I knew everything at one point, as if I had somehow unlocked the truth of life itself. It was so simple. Your god turns back to you, his eyes tinged with red. Goodness alone will bring the world to evil. The words of an arcanist, I believe. He's quoting Prax. How conflicting. But Gorm spoke the truth. About what? He wipes a tear from his cheek. My legacy. Norvik is under siege. There's a conspiracy of free striders. The magistrates are bought. The Asgulls are undermined. The Golden Horde seeks to occupy the clanlands within a decade or two. The Mender's cabal funnels riches to rebels in our lands. And my will, the plan I created to keep peace and to transition into a democratic government, was suppressed. It's all true. All of it. Your god gathers himself. This was all a calculated risk on my part. What do you mean? I knew this would happen, Ragan, or rather I saw the odds in strings. It was high, he says with a clenched fist. Something like a 4 in 5. The problem? The odds changed while I was dying. It does not happen very often, an esoteric event most likely. Suddenly I saw the new probable outcome, this web of conspiracy. The old man shakes his head and looks very, very tired. The magistrates hiding my succession acted as the initial spark. The rest is your history. What kind of esoteric event? I do not know. It might not matter. Perhaps it was a divine intervention. Perhaps some remnant spirit or prophecy. Something changed the odds of my choice. Sadly, I am not the one dealing with the consequences. Why didn't you push for democracy earlier? The odds were against me. Forcing democracy at an earlier point had a very low success rate. Most outcomes would simply end up in oligarchy. Freestriderism was growing in the East, and it would have sunk its claws into Norvik. Counterbalanced organized money as organized people. I was hoping to set you all on that path. The populace was not ready, despite my effort at decentralizing and pushing for pseudo-democratic guilds. The best chance was for democracy after my death as my final will, until it wasn't. Did they actually target the Lord Patriarch? Yes, a Torumian wizard was equipped with an Arcanist spell scroll. Very expensive endeavor. Poor Akasam, he did not deserve such a fate. What else do you know? Could not see who or why. The magistrates keep whatever they plan under tight supervision. They all stuff lead into their walls. Their homes are impenetrable for me or any other scryer. Gorham's perspective is, however, most likely correct. They targeted Akasam to maintain their hold on power, to avoid the transference demanded by my will. He had, just prior to the attack, been very adamant about enacting it properly. Would it have worked? I do not know. I do not believe he knew either. How do you see the risks so clearly? Did not share that secret often during my days. Lord Gorham was one of few I confided in with my struggle. A struggle? One placed upon all us gods, he says while making air quotes. We can see outcomes in strings. Not always, not clearly, sometimes like a play in the mind, sometimes an assured vision, but always there are odds, a choice, a chance, a risk. When I worked at my father's shop, I would work on a shoe and see exactly how, 9 times out of 10, I would ruin the leather. As I grew better, my skill improving, the odds would change. Soon I'd pick up a boot and see 2 in 5, then 1 in 4, then 1 in 10. Sometimes I'd still fail, but seldom. Yep, just like real life, just like this game, because you can always roll a nat 1. Once again, this is like a cool intersection between like dice gameplay and stuff, like, and why rolling a natural 1 is something you should just kind of take, because it's a part of life. Sometimes you fail and there was no way for you to succeed, and you just need to accept that. And I think, you know, save scumming if you roll like a 1 or something is kind of defeats the purpose of the game. The game is made with the intention in mind that you do fail sometimes, and you kind of just have to roll with the decisions, and that's what I like about these kinds of games. Over time, that simply turned into ever greater visions, along with greater power. Every god can do that? To my knowledge, yes. Besides the esoteric might and other powers, it is not divine providence, it's just probabilities. That's why you left your homeland. Yes. When I took my people to sea, we had a 50-50 chance of survival. When I saw Ascani, those odds went up. Every step of the way, I made decisions aimed at increasing those odds. For you. The Earthfolk, the citizens of Norvik, everyone around the coast, point at your scarf. Meek? I hear name. Is it safe? Who is old man? Hello, Meek. Him included, yes. Old man no Meek? Fabric on your scarf shifts nervously. Me? Among many. Us? Snell too, yes. And you, Atir. Of course. I made decisions aimed at increasing those odds, so the genocide of goblins was part of that, huh? The Earthfolk? Them. He nods towards Snell, and others. I realized with such power I could protect and serve more and more people. Yet, at a certain point, he takes a moment, where it all went wrong. Where does my tribe begin? Who do I define as the other? I had to choose. Why must there be another? Exactly. There is always another, even for a good god. My choice was the Earthfolk and the exiled dwarves, a united creed, bound by this great city we built. The old man looks to a tear. Her blank expression does not change, yet her eyes no longer spin. They just focus on Earth. I focused on increasing the odds for that creed, to assure the security of Norvik and its ideals, no matter what. Matter what, huh? No matter what. For almost a century, that absolutism has been the source of immense life and pain. Absolutism, no. Fascism. It was worth it? You must defend your tribe at all costs? It must have been difficult, but choosing between your people or violence, just like Gorm? Fascism, you mean? Maybe, he says, exasperated. Maybe. Just like Gorm. That comparison pains me, but I cannot deny it. Pains you? Yeah, Snell. Lay into his ass. Come on. At least you had a choice. The old man keeps his eyes on the goblin and places his hands behind his back. Not with anger or sadness. Earth wants to hear him out. You're responsible for the genocide of my people. Yes. Look at Snell, then at Earth. No, don't. No, Snell deserves this. Yeah? Just yes? God says nothing for a few seconds, then he nods. Every horrible thing you have heard. I did. Okay, so yeah, not covering it up, not trying to shy away from it, not saying it was a lie, that stuff didn't happen, you know, like... No, it absolutely happened. And you just admitted it. He looks around the void, clenches his jaw and clicks his tongue a few times. He holds up a finger. I have one question. Thought about it for a while now, my whole life really. I need to ask it. I want to hear it. Goblin hesitates, then starts. Why didn't you just kill us all? The old man furrows his brow. No, really. Why live us in this half-life? Because what? What is this? He says and pulls at his jacket. This? He slams his fist into his chest. We're not human. We're not dwarves. We're not goblins. Take away our language, traditions, our stories. You put us into these holes, expecting us to form into something suitable. What is that? What do you want? The outburst causes you to shiver. Yeah, I mean, you completely removed, you know, goblin culture and everything about them. You like, basically, like, re-educated them, effectively. It was like one of those re-education schools that, like, North America, including both Canada and the US, did to, like, you know, the natives here, where they would send them to schools to Christianize them and things. It was fucking horrible and just completely ripped their culture away from them. You're screaming at your god. The balls. You can see every outcome or whatever. Why the fuck did you pick this one? His words dripping in sarcasm and rage. Wait for Earth's reply. Earth allows the goblin to end his speech, listening to his panting echo across the eternal waters. Then, without lowering his head or averting his gaze, he says, I was going to. I told myself every goblin on those red hills needed to die for the safety of man. That folkmord was necessary. But without clearing these lands entirely of these hostile natives, there would be nothing but perpetual war. Yeah, so you did it just off of the idea, the assumption that you knew what was going to happen. You genocided the goblins and started putting them in camps and holes. Just because you felt that it was going to lead to nothing but perpetual war? After establishing Norvik, when the trolls were scattered and the coast was ours, if I had left your people alone, I saw a guaranteed future filled with inevitable clashes between goblins and humans. Those clashes would lead to more animosity, more hatred, generation after generation seeking blood vengeance against an entire people. It was one of my clearest visions, radical fanaticism, goblin armies funded by hordes of elven treasure, years of warfare in Verdun, trenches for miles, trenches! Then more factions joining in over time. It would risk another coast war, simply due to the fact that the humans were never meant to live here. We were never meant to take these lands. Yet we did. I did. I made that choice because every other meant the death of my people. So you were fine with just ensuring the death of other people instead. You were fine going to a place that humans didn't belong instead, just for your people. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. In exchange, I doomed yours. Snell stares at him, stone-faced. Okay. So we're fundamentally incompatible and you took our ancestral homeland. Great. Rubs his eyes and takes a step away. Composure. The goblin wants to do this properly. I think it's proven that we are perfectly capable of living and working together. Incompatible, look to Earth for answers. I don't think you answered Snell's question. So what was Snell? Yeah, why didn't you kill us all? Yeah, why didn't you? I like this, but I don't like the framing of, I think it's proven that we're perfectly capable of living and working together because, like, I'm speaking from the future, basically. And, like, yes, I'm proving that me and Snell can work together and be together, but I don't think Snell's going to like that, per se, because I'm effectively, like, yeah, now we are, after we've basically sanitized them of everything that made them goblins, like he said. So it feels hollow to say that now, that like, oh yeah, we're working fine and living, we're perfectly capable of living and working together, when the goblins have to suffer so much and put up with so much to have that semblance of peace. So I don't know, like, this almost feels like a nice option because I'm saying, like, look, me and Snell prove it, but I'm like, the proof is completely after basically just destroying all of their culture. So is that really proving anything at all? If like Snell said, you know, Snell doesn't even believe he is actually a goblin anymore because they've lost everything that was innate to them. So it almost feels like it would be rude to say that. I don't think you answered Snell's question. No, you didn't. Snell turns back around, glaring at your god. Why am I alive? Why did you spare those 3 tribes, Earth? Yes, he murmurs. The answer to that is simple. I gambled. Your god looks up at the stars. Battle of Moor Grib, Western Verdun, on the 6th year of the campaign. Leader of the Kriegthon is brought before me in chains. He demands a duel to the death. His name is Kron. To restore his strength for a fair fight, I invite him to eat with me. This goblin speaks Dwarven, Diminorian, and even some Elvish. Over dinner he explains exactly to me how they were superior in every way, and that the only reason we won was due to our luck. We had a god. Theirs died long ago. I agreed with him, then we discussed my options. Kran told me I was wise for killing them all. If I did not, he said, they would eventually re-emerge and destroy mankind. Once I fated like Tokig did, that each of his sons dreamt of spilling human blood. Snell's eyes narrow as Earth speaks. So I asked him, what of his daughters? Did they dream of war and slaughter, revenge? Kron told me no, and he laughed at me, and wondered aloud what a boring and peaceful life that would be. I spent the night explaining my visions to him. He in turn told me stories about Tokig the Gambler. For hours we talked, exchanging ideas, and I proved well enough how I knew it all. As the sun rose, I saw in that conversation something magical. The odds had changed. Not by much. Not so significantly that it changed my belief, but enough for me to make another choice. A gamble. I gambled on a path where humans and goblins could live together. In peace. Looked to Snell. His eyes are on the ground. We signed a treaty the next day. The forced assimilation of the 3 tribes were carried out. Kran served me for 12 years, overseeing the migration to Norvik. Yeah, that's Kran, the goblin that they talked about that, like, kind of sold out. This was the only plan of action I could see, with a success rate above 50-50. Success? Yes. He scowls. A successful genocide, yeah? What's your definition of success here? The same as always. The least amount of death, over time, as far as I could see. But not for my people alone. Not this time. For both our people. Lets out a conflicted groan. Well, you shouldn't have come here in the first place, then. Perhaps so. His eyes speak of sorrow. Yeah, I mean, you probably shouldn't have. thought they came here as conquerors. Like, yes, I understand humanity was having a hard time where they were originally, but that doesn't mean you can just pack up and subjugate other people.
The Arcanists did not curse our homeland. We would not have gone west in the first place.
Earth wants to listen, nothing else. There are no other plans in your visions. No other paths.
No, there were many. All of them ending in the near guaranteed destruction of my people. You ask me what you are, Snow, let me tell you.
He walks forward towards your goblin companion. You are something entirely new. Goblin's expression goes from angry to despondent as he stares at the dead god's approach. Despondent.
You can never be goblin. You can never be human. You're in this mess because of me and my evil actions.
The old man throws up his hands into the air, reaching for the stars.
So hate me, curse me, then go be a leader for your people.
He lowers his arms and gives him a determined frown.
They need you, Snell. For the new era and beyond. Make something that hasn't been seen before, something new, something better.
Apprehensive and confused, the goblin turns away.
Don't exactly have a choice here.
There's always a choice, Earth says while locking eyes with you. Some paths are just riskier than others. Goblin clicks his tongue, glances at the god and mutters something new. You hear the anger and fear in his voice.
A divine calling. Have a god tell you to push for leadership. A holy message.
Tokig would likely tell you to take the gamble. If you ever meet him, be sure to ask. The old god laughs. Goblin looks on with a complicated expression. Conflict dancing in the shadows of his mind. Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting thing. Not a lot of people get to basically meet the person that genocided, you know, them. Like, it's wild to have to sit down and have a conversation with someone like this. I can't even imagine the emotions going through Snell right now. Rage and confusion. I'll think about it, Earth. Difficult exchange.
The son need not dig the trenches of the father.
The goblins should never forgive you.
Good. There's a difference between acceptance and forgiveness. You may accept a man's weakness and see his place in the world, but if he makes a conscious decision to hurt you, if he places that intent into the world, that evil will forever mark him, and all you can do is accept that evil as part of him or push him away. Forgiveness is weakness, acceptance is truth.
Thank you. Yeah. Like I said earlier, you are not owed forgiveness. Are you saying we should let go of the past?
Oh no, not at all. Let the past sear your skin, let it mark you forever. Use those markings to remember what you did, why you did it, and how you could do better.
He smiles.
Become a better man, always.
And important, yep, there, that's good. What do you want from the goblins going forward?
Me?
He smiles.
Luckily, I have no say in that.
Turn back to Snow. You really... He stops himself from speaking at first and then says, you really fucked up that assimilation.
I know. There's one thing I will apologize for, it is that. I am sorry. I was always terrible at statecraft.
Snell shows the same face he's shown you so many times since you met him in that underground garden. Be ruled by evil or incompetence?
Sometimes a mixture of both, I'm afraid.
For someone who could see the future, that's saying a lot. You can always do better. For someone who could see the future, that's saying a lot. Your god laughs.
Too many small decisions with such indecipherable small impacts upon the odds. Certain scales, no autocratic, even divinely inspired leader is able to keep up. We will see what string you two will walk on. But if it is of any comfort around this incompetent governance, I can assure you, Snell.
He gives the goblin a meager glance.
Lady Sageleaf is the one who truly changed the odds.
Snell meets his eyes.
Hope. I never expected it from someone like her. Alas, there are many things I did not see coming. If anything, your instincts are clearly a dowsing rod of their own.
Now, he looks up at the floating angel behind her, a sea of stars. A tear. Earth. She grips her sword as if ready to pull it at any moment, her eyes spinning faster. Her voice cuts off, leaving silence in the void. She cannot find the words.
His greatness overwhelms her. Not want your service, Atir. I've told you this before. His voice is soft and full of heartbreak. A rejection? No. He wants better of her. An oath will not bind you to the earth. Nothing can. I. Nothing. She lifts her chin, her arms in a salutation. You have done so much for men, for me, but there's something far more... I am lost. The intense telepathic words echo in your minds. You see Earth almost jolt, his head held high to meet the floating porcelain specter before him. I am lost upon this world. No honorable power, no avatar of goodness, no greatness of the choir. These remnants are children, playing at running the coast. No different than arcanists, human and celestial alike. Even ancients have gone mad or faded. And you showed me there was a better way, you fool. Your god shows nothing but empathy on his expression as he spits the insult into his mind. You absolute buffoon. You kruki smer Niku. He smiles. I deserve that, I'll admit. Did not expect to fade so soon. I should have prepared more. But don't think for a second I haven't seen you. You dive into Earthguard work to fill the void in your heart. A deep sadness falls upon his face. My dear girl. A term of endearment. Look to Angel Companion, then back to your god? Holds out his hands. You need to get involved in politics. Gerwa. You catch a glimpse of Snell, his expression sharing exactly your own disorientation at seeing these two beings bicker. This nihilism, it's not what you need. You are an era-spanning warrior, a lady of Norvik, an angel beyond the grasp of the Horde. Truly sorry my pride and ego got the better of me, so that I didn't accept my mortality until way too late. If I had, I would have told you this before I passed. Make a choice. His voice is carried across the eternal flats. Anything but this limbo, I beg of you. The angel floats closer, her eyes glaring at him. There is no good choice. Endless hesitation is the worst choice of them all, Atir. And you've selected it for years. Interesting. Atir was the entire time this one that was completely... Like, she was kind of the apolitical one. Just the one that was like, there's no good options, so I'm just not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit on my hands and be depressed and say there's nothing I can do. Which is hilarious coming from someone with her level of power and being free of the Horde's influence, like you said. But, I mean, I can definitely, what's the word? Empathize with, not seeing the value and power in yourself. Every morning, every night, she lands upon the ground, her feet hitting the esoteric ground. Sometimes all presented choices are bad. In those cases, you might as well pick the most ambitious road. Aim at the highest mountain and see where it takes you. Her many eyes slow down to a crawl, focusing on the god. Am I wrong, Atir? With Atir now standing, you see the two of them are nearly of equal height. No, Earth. He lets out a sigh. You are, in your simple way, correct once again. I aim to end my contract with the city and Darrow post-election. Good, good. He takes a deep breath and taps her on her shoulder plate. I know how stupid it is for a youngling like myself to say this, but I am proud of you, Atir, and I am sorry for my weakness. No, Earth. She gently places a hand on his shoulder as well. Your weakness is what made you special. I'm happy to see you one last time. One last time? Tyr lifts from the ground once more. She knows all too well how these things go. Earth looks upon you with eyes that remind you of your father. Aged wisdom, soaked in blood. I would like to have a few more words with you, Ragan, before you return. He steps forth until you realize your god is near towering above you. I'm afraid we will never speak again, my son. Truth. Yes, this is all forced by his last will and divine might. This conversation is truly simply an esoteric happenstance. Once time runs up, this will not align again. You spent your last strength on this? Yes. The last. This conversation, Ragan, he says, places a warm hand upon your shoulder. The only time you'll ever feel his warmth. The last time anyone ever will. It was worth... everything. Look to Snell, then back to him.
Snell looks on, his arms crossed, still conflicted, but with a now determined expression on his face. Look to a tear and nod. Thank you for allowing me to join you, cleric. Her voice echoes in your mind. You have done well. I'm just a cleric. Yes, although wizard might be more appropriate. Correct statement, despite his theological nature. And you've certainly been mingling with the primal forces a lot. If you want to be a druid, you certainly have my blessing. God chuckles at you. What about barbarian? That could be a cool title, right? No, bow your head. And the flame tongue. Keep it. Served me well for many years. Gorm would have wanted you to have it. Despite everything, he was a good man. A good man. Perhaps. Yet a real man would never have let it come this far. A real man would have faced each trouble, each unspeakable fault within the system with the strength to stand, even if the world crumbled around him. A real man knows his intent is nothing but an excuse. Alignment is as subjective as Jor, nothing but intent. A man will see it all burn before he accepts utilitarian evil into his heart. Goodness itself lies in the heart of all folk. It is not built under the whims of a cleric, no matter their intent. Alignment is subjective. A real man would have faced such trouble. I wish I had met him under better circumstances. No, he was not. The world will burn by the intentions of good men. It kind of makes me laugh to say your quote right back at you. The world will burn by the intentions of good men. God listens to the words with care. Is that from a book? I'm sure I stole it from somewhere. He lets out a short laugh. Well, I can assure you that evil men do a fair bit of burning as well. I mean, I'm more so talking about people like this should have quotes around it. Good men, in my opinion, because basically the intention I had with it is plenty of people that are doing fucking horrible things just like he was think they are good people. He didn't at the end, admittedly. But there may be people that say they were a good man, even if they don't think they're a good man, or they may think they're good men and they're doing the right thing, when in reality, no, they're not. I'm going to show you that evil men do a fair bit of burning. Yep. So in the end, maybe we should aim for a world with less tinder and oil. Takes his hand off your shoulder and takes a deep breath. He's about to send you home. Ask. This is your chance. One last time. What will you have me do? I'm not sure what to think of all this. I don't want to see my future. I'm not sure what to think of all this. Good. Be conflicted, be ponderous, question the world and yourself. The coming era is yours. He looks to Snell, then to a tear. I believe in you all. I don't pray anymore. Reject your God. I mean, can you really continue praying to someone that you absolutely know by talking to them 100% did all of these things? I don't think I would want to pray to Earth anymore, quite honestly. I mean, I don't think that's that wild of a take. Like, you're old. You're the old system. You knew you fucked up and you're trying to usher in the new generation. I don't even think you'll be angry if I don't pray anymore. Because Snell, Atir, and me, we're like the next generation that are going to try and build things better and not fall into the same traps that you did. Not do your same fuck-ups, and I think that's what you would want. I don't pray anymore. I know. It's good. I am but a channel for greater things at this point. You will carry skepticism in your heart in the face of gods and ideologues. I will serve you well, I believe. He scratches his beard. I will tell you one thing, though. Do you remember your prayer, Ragan? The one you always repeated me at the end of hard days? My prayer? Yes, the one. Oh, the prayer. You repeated it so many times. It was a cry, a pleading.
The end of a night at the library, after hours working the kiosk, when your body was broken past days of Earthguard training in bed at night. He listens. Not from all, it's mostly noise as you can imagine. Interesting. As a channel for a greater power, he must pick up on all of it. Yours, however, it was such a simple prayer. That's what stuck with me. Earth holds up a finger. One thing you asked of me all throughout your life. It never changed. Not once. Calming companions follow his conversation intently, yet he says nothing. Right. That. Feel embarrassed. He smiles. I do not promise things lightly, but I can promise you this, my son. There is a string to follow. One where your prayer is answered. I swear to you.
Was it about love? Did I just want someone to love me? Because we have talked about that.
Your father is proud of you. For the man you have become. For the man you will be.
Oh. Was that it? It wasn't love, it was just... Rogan has daddy issues. Wanted father to be proud.
Hold it in. Earth leans in and says softly, You're not alone. And he takes a step back, his eyes shimmering in a faint glow. He looks down into the water. It is time. The election has begun. What, right now? Right now. Funny timing, isn't it?
Wait, now as in now? It's already... Shit, I've got so much work to do.
God holds up a hand. No worries, Snell. I believe Miska has covered it all. She will be glad to see you back there alive. Trust me.
Huh? No. Yeah, good.
He is flustered. Dara looks quite mad, however, he says to a tear. Good. I am looking forward to it.
Hell yeah, Queen!
Of course you are. What will happen to you? Oh, I'll get a good rest. That's most of what I've done here. For these 27 years, I'd wager the rest of my strange existence here will do just the same. God shrugs, but then again, who knows? Wish us luck. Fortune follows the meek. That is the man who carries a sword, but knows when to keep it sheathed.
Is it safe yet? I was wondering if Meek was going to come out. No? Darn. Master, please go home. Stop talking with old bald man.
Earth stares at the mouth on your scarf. You really pick up all kinds of friends, don't you? Touches his scalp with a laugh caught in his throat. Old bald man.
How do we get home?
Same tunnel you got your spells from. I'll just make it a little wider for you. I'm ready. We are ready. God holds out a hand. From it, a white drop falls. Hits the esoteric water below.
Oh.
Goodbye, Newt. Hold on, one more thing. You need to ask. My lord, before we go. Yes, my son.
His voice echoes through the blinding light. What should I vote in the election? We don't need to ask.
Catch him by surprise with such a question. Through the light, you see a smile appear upon his face. He laughs. God lets out a loud and boisterous laugh among the radiant power of his divinity. The Asgalis! They won't win, but every vote will help for the future.
Yeah! Asgalis!
Alright.
God, this game is cool. I'm here. With my red cursor, my strength cursor. Is this credits now? God, this is going to be such a long video. I'm sorry to the people that are watching this. Look, there's Escurum. Oh God, is it going to be the moment where we can talk to everybody? Oh Jesus Christ, I think it is. Oh, it is. I can have conversations with everybody. It's that moment in the video game.
The city roars around you. Flocking the streets, hundreds seek their designated polling place. And you lie on the central street of Tolstad, and have successfully made it to election day. Gasp for air. And over you? Ah, shit. First thing you see is Snell getting up from the pavement beside you. He looks pale and queasy.
I need to tell me this portaling business would come with nausea.
Just stay on the ground and groan. Snell joins you in on your choir. Should be happy to have survived, although I will grant you sympathy for your conditions. Looking to your other side, a tear rises from the ground once more. She looks undisturbed by the plane shifting. Should also mention, I'm glad you are alive, both of you.
Thanks, Satir. feel sick on the ground like a worm with a fever. Yeah, the goblin says, raising a hand. A thank you for me as well. Tyr's many eyes look around. Appears we have not been too conspicuous on our arrival. We must have appeared without fanfare. Good. Been anticlimactic, but convenient. Good way to describe it. She ascends and tells you both. Dara is waiting. Come. Speak when the time has come. The angel floats away up the hill. You had to watch her go, but you love to watch her leave? Snell stretches a bit, then takes a glance. Oh, man was right. Election sure has started. So we lost, what, 8+ hours? Something like that? Maybe less? And we were in the void for about an hour, give or take, right? I'm not a math guy, I'm an esoteric guy. Lucky didn't drop us off in Kargamesh. Keep groaning. Right, I keep forgetting. He mutters and looks like he's about to throw up. Wonder what would happen if we stayed there for longer, like a month. We come back years later? Doesn't matter anyhow, we're back safe and no, I'd probably get all wacky and unpredictable. Just to fuck with us? Just to fuck with us. Goblin takes in the sight of election day. Breeze in the air, his shoulders drop. Everything is fine, nothing is wrong anymore. You live to see another life. Relief smile on his face. Get up from the ground. Right, game plan. It's not that late in the day, so there's no rush in voting. They won't close the polls until 9 o'clock. First of all, we need to report this to Lady Sageleaf. Then I'm assuming you'll need to have a chat with Darrow, too. Is everyone here? Everyone. I mean, most of Tolstad. Like a dozen different polling places set up around the city. This is just one of them. Where's Lady Sageleaf? In the garden, most likely. Though if my ears don't deceive me, Nearly's playing something on the field. Should go look. Should report to her first of all, in my humble opinion. Don't want to keep her waiting. Where do you think Darrow is? No clue. Probably out here somewhere. Who else? It's up to you. No stress. Once you got the important stuff out of the way, you've got all day. It's only 10:20ish. Need to figure out what I'm voting. Goblin laughs. I heard what you asked him there at the end. Just follow your gut. Just one vote after all, not the end of the world. No, one vote's very important. Should I tell people I met Earth? Shrugs. Honestly, I don't think anyone would believe you. At the very least, not take you seriously. You do you. Let's go. The final quest. Talk with everyone you need to. When you're done, head to the ballot box with Snell. After so many phrases, isn't this a wonderful string to end on? Dare I try to finish? Like, dare I? It's probably going to be some long conversations, right? Oh yeah, you were Arn. Hey. Find the blonde kid standing with another much smaller blonde kid. Hey look, it's a cleric. Cleric! The blonde kid gives you a somewhat decent salute. Hope you're doing good. Gray zone. Okay. Well, we just voted, or I did. Yeah, I'm not old enough yet. Seems stupid. I know more about politics than most people here. Good. Start early. You'll be a great voter by the time you're of age. Yeah. Rolo crosses his arms and looks up at the sky. I actually voted blank as a protest. I know it doesn't matter really, but I just felt like doing something on a day like this, you know? I'll also vote blank. Bad idea. Throwing your vote away is a disgrace against democracy. Shrugs. City is ruled by sycophants. We need some type of change, but none of the parties will do it justice. That's my thoughts at least. Maybe the agriculturalists? Maybe. Sad they got swallowed by the Asgalists. Well, then turns to his kid brother and says, "Don't repeat any of that, okay?" Arn nods. Snitches get britches. That's what Dad always said, right? Shoots Arn an icy look. That's not the right saying. But no need to get mad about it, Rolo. Jeez. Sorry. No, I'm the one who's sorry. The blind kid glances at you. I don't remember if I said, but Dad was a bit of a cunt. Yeah? We're better off without him. Don't go get yourself into trouble with your politics bullshit, Rolo. I'll try, I promise. Looks a bit guilty, like a dog who just stole food from the table. Any news, kid? Some fights last night at the Flip. Most papers just focus their election issues today, though, like the rest of the city. Looks like the Nationalists will win if you believe the closing polls, and beyond that, the kid picks up a paper from behind him and shows you a picture on one of the last pages. There's a new party. The Adventurers Party. Look. Picture shows a group of armored dungeon delvers standing around a tall woman with a well-placed neck tattoo, an amazing haircut, and a friendly grin on his face. Looks like a bad man. Well-groomed, attentive. Objectively likable. Seemed like just a Free Strider branch party, Rolo says as he, too, looks at the picture. Like hypermarket liberals? Type that want the entire economy to be built around finding loot in dungeons? Have no feeling. Yeah, you should look up the Earthguard members instead. I don't know why, but I hate this guy. Can't be that bad. That sounds dangerous. Snell laughs after taking a glance across the article. What kind of ass-kicking article is this? Did he charm the entire post faculty? Sigh and try not to think about this Alto fellow ever again. Are we hinting at a sequel? That's my working theory. Either way, the blind kid gives you a stern look. Have you have a great election day, cleric? Yeah, there's a ton of stuff going on. Really fun. Warriors return to their huddle. Don't get in any trouble. So I can't talk to everyone, but I can speak to a lot of people. And I would love to have all of this in one episode, but I think I'm just gonna have to save, and this one's gonna, I mean, this one's already nearly 3 hours. But just some closing thoughts on that ending. Obviously, we have to do this whole thing, which could very well take an hour or two, given how long the conversations are, which is why I don't want to try and finish it in one go. Also, I'm like starving and need to eat. I've been kind of waiting to say this, and I think I may have mentioned it on stream a few times or something, but I do truly think, I know it's early to say these things, but this is probably my game of the year. I know it's early, I know there's plenty of times for other things, but it's not often these days the game just like really hits me strongly. And I just enjoy every bit of it, and enjoy the story and the characters and all of that, just everything. Like, obviously I play games and they're great, but nothing has quite hit me as hard as this game this year. So I do think this is probably my game of the year, at least so far. Maybe something crazy will come out and happen and I'll be like, oh my god. But as of right now, I definitely think this is probably my game of the year. Definitely one of my favorite games I've ever played on the channel. I just think it's fantastically done. It's got fantastic humor, a lot of things. It does really interesting stuff with the story. It's just really good. I can't go in depth on these things because I'm terrible at articulating my thoughts, but it's just been a phenomenal experience that I don't often get from playing a lot of games these days. Like, I enjoy my time, but nothing ever really hits me like a truck. It kind of reminds me of like playing games when I was younger and getting to like the end of a JRPG and just being like, wow. It's like capturing some of that childhood innocence and happiness for me, I suppose, with this one. So it is neat. This is a phenomenal game. And I wanted to get those thoughts out now while it's fresh in my mind, but there were so many things to take apart in this video. Normally I would probably say like, oh, I'll split this up, and maybe I will. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just upload it as the full 3 hours. Who knows? But regardless, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for probably the finale.